No, we are in live.
Okay. Hello.
Live.
Well. Okay. Are we ready to go?
Yeah, you
All
can
right.
go.
Okay. Hello, and ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rise and Science Present Wake Up Bangladesh, powered by NRPBD. This is your host, Alif Hassan, for today's event. Actually, today we have a great day, and that's the reason we are here. We were telecasting a program overall in 365 days a year. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. We have been telecasting a live program within this 365 days live by one of our moderators who is really a busy person, but he did it all the way to 365 days. This program was actually dedicated to people with confidence, and as well as this helped to build up confidence. And today we are lucky enough. Why? Yes, I'm sure audience wants to ask why. Why we are lucky enough? Because today is the 365 day, and that's the reason we are here for this program today. And this program was moderated by one of our guests who is a TEDx speaker, who is the DGM of Bangladesh Bank, and who is also great renowned Toastmasters. Among his busy schedule, he had hosted this program from all 365 days. And there is another good news, ladies and gentlemen, that I want to share. The program has been notified in Guinness Book of World Records. And I would rather say we can give a huge round of applause for that person and for that great achievement. And that person is none other than Mr. Nozul Islam. Hello, sir. How are you?
Hello. Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Alif Hassan,
Yes.
for inviting. And this is really a great moment for me. It is I'm facing. I usually cover 365 days and every day morning, but today I'm meeting at night. It's a great pleasure for me, and with a very distinguished guest, renowned guest. So pleased to be
Yes.
here.
Yes, absolutely. And to motivate and to place and to give their full support, we have two marvelous guests with Mr. Nozrul Islam. And one of our guests, I'm really proud to announce, he is the founder and CEO of Bangladesh Organization for Learning Development, that is BOLT, which is the number one great organization, as well as he's a great person. He is none other than Mr. Kazi M. Ahmed. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. Thank you for asking. And I'm sure you're doing great too. Thanks for
Yes,
having me. Thank you again.
thank you so much. We love to have you here, and thank you for joining. And our third guest, ladies and gentlemen, she is not from Bangladesh. She is directly from UK. She is a great aspiring motivational speaker. She is a Toastmaster and she loves childcare. All the way from UK, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Natalie Thomas James. Hello, ma'am. How are you?
Thank you. I am good. Thank you. Thank you for having me here this afternoon. It is an absolute pleasure to be with some absolutely extraordinary humans. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Natalie. And actually, we are here to make the celebration more marvelous. And I'm sure the celebration will be marvelous amongst the three wonderful guests we have. Today we are going to learn, know, and encourage a lot of youngsters. Today we are going to learn from the experience of our three renowned guests here. So to begin with, I would like to ask my first question to Mr. Kazi M. Ahmed. Sir, may I ask you the questions?
Please, please, by all means.
So, sir, I would like to ask you that you have a learning development organization. So, what did you think about the youth who wants to learn? What do you advise for them?
Sure, thank you. Um, you know, um, if I go back many years, and when I was chronological age-wise much younger, now mentally I think I'm even younger than when I was, young in some other sense, because when I look back, I find I wasn't so passionate about learning and growing. And it's quite normal. You know why? Because I think that if I look back, my schools, universities, or other educational institutions couldn't encourage me, or I wasn't focused enough. So it wasn't a very good experience. But I would say now things have changed. So the youngsters, the young professionals, and the students and others, I would say now more than ever, there are so many opportunities. But these opportunities mean nothing unless they take on an idea that even Aristotle mentioned so long time back, perhaps more than 2,000 years back, of course. And he used a word called arete, A-R-E-T-E. And in plain English, it means excellence, to become a better version of yourself by moment, by moment, by moment. Even Stoics talked about it too. Stoics, were the philosophers who contributed so much in our thinking that we should not be stressed out about something that we have no control over. Like during this pandemic, there's no use in thinking about things that we don't have any control. Like I know, Natalie, you're in lockdown situation. So we're glad. I'm rather happy. The positive side of the negative thing is you're at home and we could access you. So what we have control over, we have control over emotions, let's say, then we should give attention. I would say, I would encourage my young friends that yes, you will be spending time on social media, no denying the fact, because it's a very good tool, it can be. I disagree with people who say Facebook is a bad thing. I've been using it for all the right reasons. How can I see it bad for me? So there are excellent course links, there are quotations, there are beautiful ideas, and I don't spend too long a time. So I would recommend make the best use of this tool, but every day learn and grow. And if you want another word, and I finish by saying that many people have this fixed mindset, thinking nothing may work and others are progressing. And I call this, Professor Carol Dweck calls this fixed mindset. Whereas growth mindset is something that says, those who are watching live, I hope a few people are watching here. So I want you to be open to the idea that you can become anything you want to become. Of course, that anything means, reasonably anything. I mean, I'm not that you just become anything, but wherever you are, if your ambition is to become a doctor, an accountant, an actor, a singer, but then you have to give effort, you know. So I have the growth mindset, which says step by step, go through the process of learning. Thank you, Alif.
Wow, what a wonderful thought, sir. And I'm sure the youngster who are looking at this program live has been benefited by your answer. I'm sure of that because I'm a youngster and I'm getting benefits by your answer. Thank you so much, sir. So moving forward, I would like to ask Mr. Nozrul Islam, our Guinness Book of World Record 2020, whose record has been transferred over there. So, sir, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready for.
So, sir, you have achieved a world record. That's not an easy job. So, how do you feel about that? If we can hear it from you.
Oh, really? This is I how I feel. Can you see my face? I feel really awesome. I really feel awesome. It's a great day. 365th day of this year, and this today is the best day for me because I have uh, achieved the challenge 365 days. When I took that challenge, I couldn't imagine that is yes, I can make some record like 365 days is nobody couldn't reach there. But few days back, uh, Shoha Goron just pushed me to apply for this. Hey, uh, Bhaiya, you know that you are going to make a record on it. And I posted it and I searched different in their websites, but nobody could reach in this place. And I another important message I'd like to share with how I inspired from Glenn Lundy, who was to be one of our guests today. And he usually had the first show in Facebook, the Rise and Grind. Uh, he couldn't tell anything about this record, and he actually presented five times in a week, not 6 days or not 7 days. But yes, really, I feel so great today. This is my best day ever in my life.
I'm I'm sure of that, Mr. Nozrul. And Nozrul, sir, actually, it's not the best day of your life, but it's a really remarkable day for all of us. Please, can we have a round of applause for Mr. Nozrul Islam again?
Thank you.
So, coming back
Thank you.
to our guest from UK, Natalie. So, as Kazi sir said that you're already in a lockdown situation, and we all know the position of UK. So, what's your uh, motive, or what's your motivation of staying indoors in this pandemic situation? If we can hear it from you.
So I think the thing with staying indoors is it's the safest place to be inside. And I think now this is technically lockdown 3, I look at it as just more opportunities to thrive because I'm building an online business. So I now have time to be at home to do it. I can go on Toastmasters and go anywhere on the globe because I'm at home. So I look at it and think people at the moment are using COVID and lockdown as excuses, whereas realistically, you can use it to your advantage because there's so many opportunities now online because of COVID. Why not go and take them? Because I've taken the opportunities this year. I joined Toastmasters back in June. I've just finished my dynamic leadership path. And that is because I've gone, okay, I'm going to be at home because I want to ensure my safety and my daughter's safety, no time like the present. Thank you.
Wow. That's a motivation that we can all look for. That you're home, you're doing business, and safety that most matters. And I'm sure of that, that UK will be fine soon. And if the world will be fine soon, I'm sure of that. We are looking for the perfect cure of the pandemic that we are facing. I'm sure we'll get it. So coming back to Kazi sir. So my next question is for Kazi sir. Sir, are you ready?
I am ready.
Yes. Yes, that's the motivation that
I'm ready.
we get from you, sir. Yes, you are ready. So, sir, what do you think of the youth learning new activities? Because we are having a lot of apps nowadays. We are having a lot of courses nowadays. So what do you think about the learning experience or learning activities that we are having? And what should the youth or youngsters should do about that, in your opinion, sir?
This is like a building on the previous question, very similar. Okay. I know it for a fact that on this phone, I have Linda, which is LinkedIn Learning. I have Optimize. I have 5 different apps. Okay, I can afford it. These are paid apps. So the whole world is now literally, I have access to. But the YouTube itself has all the best of the best videos. And there are, what do you call, podcasts by the best of the best. The one trouble that I see in Bangladesh is the language skill. Now, I grew up in Bangla medium, so even my English is only, it's okay. I'm working in 7 different countries with this English. It works. People understand me, and I understand them. However, I don't see young people spending much time developing their facility in this language. To me, this is just a technology, because it's not about learning. Now it's important to learn how to learn. We call it meta learning. So often I come across new material. You may not know, it's been 3 months now, I've become a student of a PhD program, a Malaysia-based university. I'm a PhD student now. And I came to know about completely new things. A new software called NVivo, and within a week I have to learn this, and within a week I have to learn and complete an assignment using that software. So imagine how agile I have to become. Why I'm talking about me? I'm worried that while young people are very comfortable with technology and learning, but are they learning the real things that they will have a lot of progress in? I was reading the report of World Economic Forum. They're talking about what 10 skills are going to be important in 2025. Now it's 2020, close to 2021. So by the time they graduate 1 or 2 years later, it's going to be whoever is now first year will be working at that time in the first or second year. So I'm saying, are they aware of how the world is changing? I mean, the creativity is going to be so very important. Your ability to come up with new ideas, business ideas, or within an organization, how best to serve customers. You know what I'm saying? My basic idea is that they are too much preoccupied with a limited learning spectrum. So while they will learn about hard skills, which is okay, you have to be an IT expert, you have to be an accountant, you have to be an engineer. If you want to be a medicine practitioner, fine, thank you. Hard skills are fine. But are you developing your soft skills? That's what my worry is about. And by soft skills, I mean interpersonal skills, ability to communicate effectively, being a good listener for that matter, and being able to work as a team member. And in the days of Trumpism, having critical thinking skills. You don't have to believe everything you hear. You will hear a lot of things. Even here, we are all polite. But I think each of us are aware that what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. So I would like to encourage them to, whatever they've learned, they check their data. They find out whether it's true or false. So they have to become a fast learner, combining both hard skill, which is in a way okay. The universities are giving them, the schools, colleges, but the soft skills are hard also. It's not easy to develop them. Soft skills sound soft. Oh, so easy. Not necessarily. Hard skills sounds hard, but in a way it's easy because it's a formula. It's a mathematical thing that if you give time and anywhere in the world is the same. But if I go to UK and perhaps cross-culturally, I may, if I don't know a few things, who knows, I might be in trouble. So those little things, cross-cultural understanding are very important. I remember one last example. As a young man, I think I was 27 years old that time, at the rail station in Oslo, actually, they call Oslo anyway. So here's this elderly lady who had two bags and she was having problem carrying the bags. So I quickly approached her, and as I was saying, let me help you, and I even tried to take one of her bag. She actually shoved me in a very strong way, pushed me away. I was surprised. I said, I'm only trying to help you. And she said, did I ask you? Did I ask you to help me? See, I was so ignorant that I would seek permission first. Ma'am, is there anything I can help you with? She probably would still say, I'm fine, thank you. Because she doesn't want to appear like I'm old and I cannot do my work. How long am I going to help her? I'm going to help her probably a minute or two. So this is one example. There are so many other mistakes I made in my life. So hard skill and soft skill together, they have to learn. This is my guidance for the second time. Thank you.
Wow, what a guidance, sir. And hard skill and soft skill go hand in hand. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the guidance from Kazi, sir. And I'm sure you are going to follow it in your future life. I'm going to follow that. That's for sure. Now, coming back to Nozul, sir. Nozul, sir, are you ready for your second question?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm ready.
But I still feel Kazi sir did it much more better.
Yes. Kazima is always exceptional.
Okay, coming back to Nozul, sir.
Yep.
Sir, since you're doing the online program that was telecast 365 days, do you think that people who are trying to do online program nowadays, do you have any suggestion, advice for them to how to make it a perfect online program?
Yeah. The suggestion is because we have to adjust with the time. As a sailor, what one sailor need to do, where the wind is coming, they have to just raise the sail against the wind to go through, right? So it is the time of information, age of information. You see the application of online, application of using the technology in communication. and personal growth, personal developments during the pandemic. What happened? We have two options. One option, we can fear. Another option, we can rise and shine. So what to choose? We have to take the opportunity. We have to take it. There is what to choose: fear or courage. Fear or courage. As a internet, we cannot ignore, and the world, how it is connected. Within a very short time, I invited Toastmaster Natalie Jane Thomas. Just instantly, she responded. She joined today. So we all have to take this opportunity to connect, to communicate, and to learn, to grow, because time and tide will never wait. Right? So
Absolutely.
if we fail to use this platform, this technology, so we will be behind. We'll always be behind. So we have to take this opportunity. We have to learn from these sources. Many people, that many people use the Facebook very silently. I have heard a lot of people, they join Facebook. Someone is watching me. They don't give like even. They don't give any post. They just watch. They just watch and they go away. Okay, why they do that? Because of fear, because of doubt, because of their confusion they have in their mind. But they need to come forward. They need to come forward. They need to be bold. They need to take the positive thing, because social media is like a social life. Social media is like a social life. To whom you will accept as a friend, to whom you will reject, to whom you will discuss, to whom you will connect. That will depend on your personality, your belief, so we have to take the positive things from the social media, and we have to be away from the negative, because a lot of negative things are there, as like social life, a lot of negative things. So if we are not aware about the social media, what is happening on the internet, so we may have the opportunity to get something in doubt, to be bored, to be confused. So do you like to be confused, or do you like to grow, rise and shine? That is up to us. Yes.
Of course, we want to grow, rise, and shine, isn't it, Natalie? Yeah. And now, since I asked Natalie, isn't it? So my next question is for Natalie. So Natalie, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Good. So Natalie, you are a Toastmaster, and we all know what Toastmaster is. But for the audience, I would like you to explain what Toastmaster is and how do you enjoy Toastmasters?
So I joined Toastmasters simply by going on to YouTube, and I put in motivational speaking, and I came across this video called Speak, and I watched it and I thought, okay, what's Toastmasters International? I have never heard of it, but it's probably because I live on the Isle of Wight and we're just behind compared to the majority of the mainland. So when I went on the Toastmasters website, I was like, wow, it's an educational platform which helps you become a better communicator. It helps you become an effective listener, because at the end of the day, anybody can talk and anybody can listen. Whether we actually do it right is a different thing. So the thing with Toastmasters as well, they have educational paths. So if you wanted to develop better leadership skills, then there's leadership paths. If you wanted to develop humour, there's humour paths. What I've been doing over the last 6 months is building on my cultural awareness, because at the end of the day, if you have something to say, it's important you're aware of the cultural difference and whether that audience can actually understand it. So I gave, a couple of months ago, a speech to Gulshan Toastmasters, and that was a really good learning opportunity, because I, as a Brit, don't live in Bangladesh. So I don't understand how people in Bangladesh think, feel, how they are. So I thought, I'm going to take this opportunity, because it's like, as Kwasi said, cultural understanding isn't in the curriculum. And I think it's kind of like, we're on this one globe together. Why can't we start learning about all of these different cultures? Because as a mum, what I've learned over the last 6 months being a Toastmaster is we're all in this fight together. And Toastmasters has allowed me to connect with different cultures, because I presented a speech to a Toastmasters club in Japan. Of all places, I thought, I am going to go there because I want to connect with this different culture. And it was an experience, because they didn't really understand my native British accent, but it was nice just to be in the presence of a really warm culture. So what I would say to the audience, because I know quite a lot of people in Bangladesh, Pakistan don't speak English as a first language, do Toastmasters, because it is the best opportunity you can get to develop your communication skills. And even though I've only been a Toastmaster 6 months, over that 6-month period, I have seen how valuable this learning experience can be. And I'm really excited just to see what my journey is like next year. So I think it's like, people can like spend 20, 30, 40 pounds on drugs and alcohol. Why not spend that money and invest in yourself? Because I think it's kind of the better option.
Wow. What a thought, Natalie. And I want to share with the audience that not only Natalie, Nozul sir and I'm also Toastmaster. And we completely agree with Natalie that Toastmaster has actually improved us a lot, whether it's speaking skill, whether it's leadership skill or communication skill. I'm sure Nozul sir will agree to that, isn't it, sir?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And Toastmaster has made me and has given the courage to take this challenge, 365 days. I am from very oldest school, very rural school. I didn't have any English background. I didn't have any very sophisticated education so far, and so good. I'm continuing 365 days and completed. Yes, that is a courage given by Toastmaster.
Wow, what a thought. And moving ahead, I would like to ask question to Kazi sir again, because I'm sure that he is ready for answering my next question. Sir, are you ready? Okay, sir. So my next question is, sir, I think you're muted. Okay, sir, my next question is that you're a really busy person. You are the CEO, founder of Bolt. So it's obvious that you're a really busy person. So, sir, for our youngsters who are really busy and for even people who are busy, I would like to ask you about your experience of maintaining your personal and professional time. If you can just share it with the audience, sir.
At this moment, this is the most appropriate question, because right after I finish answering this question, I would actually have to leave. It may, I mean, I mentioned to others as well that because of my family program, I have to be with them. So this is the question, a kind of a poetic justice. I will do some poetic justice to this question. So anyway, let me tell you this. In my early career, I was giving disproportionate emphasis on my out of family, external, networking, and so on. So now I have realized that in my remainder of my life, I've made things simple. Okay, I've lived a long many years already, 55 years to be precise. I've been to many different countries for work, for pleasure. What am I learning about life if I don't have a high quality of life? So I made it simple by bringing my life into 3 different aspects. So number 1 is the energy. I'm coming to you, but I need to link this. By energy, I mean eating healthy at home with my family. I make sure the oil is olive oil and not soybean oil or any oil. In the afternoon, my wife and I went to the park. We walked quite a bit. So I made sure I did my eat, move, because you have to move your body. And I make sure also I sleep 7 to 8 hours. Some people say 5 hours, 6 hours is okay. I totally disagree. Or I found that for me, to have a great life, to have full rested body and mind, I need at least 7 hours of sleep. So this is my first priority. The second is, and this is where your question comes, is where do I wake up? I wake up in my family. So I have 2 sons. One is studying in Canada, although recently, because of pandemic, he's in Bangladesh. So I give him time. His exam just finished. This is a holiday season. So people don't expect me to do even webinars like this. Never mind. Because Nazrul Bhai asked me, I just told him, okay, but then there are other things to do. So I make sure I give enough time to my family. I integrate. Third, to me, is my career. I said third because unless I have energy, I cannot even walk. I cannot even talk. I cannot listen. I say second is my family, because if I'm sick, who love me? Who do I love? So that's very important. My clients will not be beside me on my deathbed. So no matter how I value them, I appreciate, but priority-wise, that's my third priority. I will serve my clients, and I will be valuable, so that when I'm no longer on this planet Earth, I made a difference. On my deathbed, I will think I had a useful life, not only with my family, not only for me, but for the community, for the country, and the world. So this balancing act makes me feel very good. And that's why I thank you for asking me this question. And I wish you great luck with the remainder of the program. I think Natalie and Nazrul Bhai will get more time, because more main questions I've answered. So my apologies. I took permission before. Yeah, thank you.
Sir, we would love to have you again in our program, and thank you for coming and give your spacious time. So just in 2 words, if you can say, how do you like the program?
Oh, sure. No, I'm especially Um, I'm very, very, I feel honored because it's all about Nozrul Bhai. We say Bhai, Natalie knows this. Nozrul Islam. What an achievement and an early morning, rise and shine. Because I read a book called 5 o'clock Club, and all the famous people I know are early risers. So, and based on that, what he achieved, and this is amazing for Bangladesh, for us, and I am I'm like, why me? I feel so humble. I'm humbled to find that I've been asked to be in this show with you all. You're celebrating this, and by being here, Natalie and I have become part of history too. So this is an honor you gave both of us. And I know Hassan is here. You are there, Alif. What a beautiful way you are moderating, you're hosting the program. I truly appreciate it. But as I said, because you asked the right question about my family life work balance, allow me to make the balance. Thank you.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
May I share a few words for
Yes, sure, sir.
Kazi Bhai? It was really amazing. It was really amazing whenever I met with Kazi Bhai, and after that we are very much connected. Just day before yesterday, I called, and instantly he said yes. He's so busy. He's engaged in different activities. I know, but how he responded, really, it's an amazing. It's an amazing that he responded quickly, and he felt really the development, personal development and growth issues, and he has been working for a long time, and that's why I invited him. And first guest whom I invited in my program, that's really amazing, and I really thank you, Kazi Bhai, for your participation, for your sharing. And we are here for that. I engage myself for my own developments. Not many people say that, hey, why you are engaged in different activities? Because my self-developments, until unless I develop myself, I cannot contribute. I cannot contribute in my organization. I cannot contribute for my society. I cannot even contribute in my family. So the first priority, if we want to see our country in a different level, we have to learn to see ourselves in different level. So that works is going down, is conveying, and I feel from her that is Kazi Bhai is working on these issues, and those who are working here, those who are guests, Natalie and Thomas and NRPBD, they are working. Without NRPBD, we couldn't come over here, right? The work behind the scene. Shohagarun, he's so connected. He made these scopes, that is, he made this forum to open to all participants, to all the members, because we need to come forward. If we love the country, we have to love the learning and developments. If we love our organization, we have to love this forum. We have to love this learning forum. Yes. Thank you so much, Kazi Bhai, for your joining, and you made this program a success. By your introduction, by your joining,
please
made this remarkable.
I just want to be useful. I want to meet a new guest today, Natalie. That must be your daughter. I want to meet her. I want to see her if she's there. Please introduce her. How lovely to see her. You are at home. Yeah. It's okay. Let her be with us. It's okay. It's wonderful. What's your name? What's your name?
Come back. What's your name? Can you tell everybody your name?
Beautiful.
Well, we're called Gia.
Yeah.
Okay. Sure.
And we're 5.
I'm so glad I met this young guest as well, who also is part of us. Thank you. You go ahead. You go ahead, please. I really,
Thank you, sir.
I'll catch up. I'll catch up some other time. Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Kazi
you.
sir, for your wonderful. Thank you, Kazi sir, for your wonderful time. We have a lot of good time with you. Thank you so much.
Alex.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Thank you
Bye-bye.
so much. Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. See you.
See you. So moving ahead, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure that with Kazi sir, we did have a lot of experience. We did have a lot of fun. Now, let's have some fun with our 2 guests, Natalie and Nozul sir. It's come down to you two, and I'm sure we are going to have a lot of fun segments within this few minutes left, because we are almost at the last segment. So we are just few minutes behind the schedule. So we'll be finishing short, but before we finish it, I have some really wonderful questions for 2 of you. So Nozul sir, are you ready for your next question?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
Right. So Nozul sir, my question is to you that how did you think of this 365 days program?
Sorry, the question again, please.
How did you think about this 365 days program?
Okay. How did I think?
Right.
That's really crazy question. Crazy question. Like I never thought that I could reach the destination. But in 2019, what happened when I was president of Gulshan Toastmaster Club, and I was in different programs. I joined. I participated in different meetings. That gave me the courage, really, that made me crazy to speak. And another important issue I'd like to share, I have been listening a lot of speakers around the globe for last 7 years. And I had that feeling, that concepts, how they're running the show, how they're doing. And I joined Toastmaster and thought that the idea came instantly. The hunches is kind of hunches that, hey, you can do for the young generations, for the hungry people. You can do for myself, because I want to do. I was trying to do something. I was trying to speak something, but I was not able to express. What can I do? So I took that challenge instantly, and I shared one friend. This is Abrar. He is not, I don't know, he is very close to me. One day I shared that, hey, Abrar, I want to make this kind of show. And he couldn't say anything. And instantly on 1st January, I took the phone and I start the show. Within few days, I faced a lot of challenges. Yes. And as I was practicing, because managing mind is a matter, because I was practicing that, after starting, the negative thought came to my mind. Negative thought. That is, hey, you cannot do it. It's very challenging. You don't have the topic, what did you say? But I say that, yes, I can do it. I can do it. Because I have to do it anyway, no matter. And then come some very enthusiastic person like Natalie Jen Thomas. Natalie Jen Thomas came in the show and she made the group very active. She posted, she supported me, she inspired me from UK, and she made the group very active. And that actually contributed a lot at the very beginning stage. And really, with the very enthusiastic person, with the very encouraging person, I really felt very great, and I cannot avoid that. Now, after 30 days, it became a bit easier to face, to continue. And you know that there are some negative feelings comes whenever there is no audience. Without audience, can you keep your speaking on? Can you keep your speaking on? This is very challenging. But I took that challenge. Yes, without any audience, I had to speak. I have to keep continue. I had to keep my passion. So that's all about learning from the journey. And I really, right now, I feel great. Awesome.
Wow, what a journey that we heard from Nazrul sir. And that journey had remarkably written in the Guinness Book of World Record 2021. And now I'm really, really happy, and it's a proud moment for us, I'm sure. But before we conclude to this proud moment, I want to ask Natalie a question. Natalie, are you ready?
Absolutely.
Great. So, Natalie, my question is that Nazrul sir already told about that how you contributed in the program. So, when Nazrul sir proposed you the program, what was your first thought that came in your mind about the program?
So when I first connected with Nazrul, I think it might have been maybe March, April time. I think we'd just gone into lockdown 1. So I thought, okay, this is really, really interesting. And I was like initially inspired of, okay, somebody's taken on an epic challenge despite a global pandemic. And as the months have gone on, I think I've just been more and more moved, empowered, blown away, and mind blown how somebody has just been so focused, dedicated, and absolutely determined to get to day 365. Because I kid you not, the majority of the global population would have given up by now. But Nazrul has just gone, no. Nazrul has basically just gone, no, I'm going to get to day 365. And I think when I was more active on Wake Up Bangladesh, I think it was like just on what we've spoken about earlier on, building on cultural awareness. Because I look at it with Gia, in primary schools nowadays, you rarely get the opportunity to learn about different cultures, whereas I am giving her the perfect opportunity to learn about a different culture just in this conversation. So I'm always going to be grateful for my part in Wake Up Bangladesh, because I've built some absolutely amazing friendships from some absolutely phenomenal people. So what I would like to say is congratulations from the UK that you did it.
2 thumbs up. 2 thumbs up. Thank you.
Congratulations from UK, congratulations from Bangladesh that Nazrul sir did it. And now we are almost at the verge of our program, and we will be celebrating it at the end. But before we end the program, I would like to ask Nazrul sir and Natalie both about the experience of today's celebration. Nazrul sir, we'll start with you. How do you like today's celebration of the program?
Definitely, I'm really indebted to some great persons. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you from my heart to our organizer, NRPBD, as a Shohag Orun. Shohag Orun did a great job, did a wonderful job, and how he is connected since 2019, and he he failed from his heart. That is yes, and he is pushing, and he failed more than me, right? He failed from more than me, and you cannot imagine that without his efforts, this program couldn't happen, couldn't be happen. And I'm so engaged, I'm so busy with my office works, but he always pushed me, always pushed me. Hey, Bhaiya, let's do it. Let's apply. Let's apply for this course because I searched a lot of and Shah Gurun and his team, Hassan is there, an NPBD representative. They worked a lot. I really grateful to them, to the team, and Alif Hassan, the moderator, the great job you did, and you took the pain, you took, you work on the brainstorm, on coursing, on the thing you prepared, and our guest, especially our Kaji, brother Kaji M. Ahmed, he is a great speaker in Bangladesh. He is unique in Bangladesh, and he made his time for this show really. And not only Jane Thomas, how he responded quickly. Just before joining the program, I was asking that, hey, I'm sending a person who is a kind-hearted person to join him, join her. That is, she's joining, and instantly, how he is. It is only possible by a Toastmaster. It is only possible by kind-hearted people. It is only possible by a dedicated people. It is only possible by a committed people. And to whom you are with, you are known by your surroundings, by your friends, who you are, who is your friends, who are connected with you. That gives you power, that gives you energy, that gives you, because energy just pass to from one person to another person. Because if you mix with the people, those who don't have energy, you will not get that. You will not get that. So how energetic I am with the person I'm meeting. So that's why so we need to be connected with a very powerful person, very energetic person, very those who are excited. That's why I created Wake Up Group. I created the Wake Up Group. A pool of energetic people are there. A pool of energetic people are there. I'm really thankful to those who made this program a very grand success. And I really appreciate them. I really grateful, and I'm indebted. I cannot pay this off. Thank you so much.
And last but not the least, we'll hear it from Natalie about this program. How do you like today's program? How do you like today's celebration? Because you are with the program 365 days. So it's a great day for you as well. So how do you like the program of today's celebration?
I'm just glad that I've been able to have a conversation with Nazrul, just say congratulations. So I'm glad that I've been a part of this. And I'm glad to see Nazrul's enthusiasm just come out in his face, because I think it's kind of like a smile can always say so much more than words. So I'm glad for the opportunity.
Wow, what a wonderful thought. And I'm sure Nozzle sir did it a wonderful job please give a huge round of applause because we are going to celebrate 365 days of the program. So please, huge round of applause, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, yes.
And with this, I, Alif Hassan, today's moderator, is ending the program. Stay tuned with Wake Up Bangladesh. Support it, audience, as you have been supporting it. And I wish all the best to the team. And I'm also one of the team so please support it.
Thank you so much.
I would like my fans also, who knows me as an actor, I would like you to support Wake Up Bangladesh also. So thank you. With this, I'm going to end the program. So stay tuned, keep healthy, stay safe. That's all from me. Thank you. Signing off.